Alright, welcome back to the last video of the 23 series here. This is the Algeth'ar Academy, famous last dungeon for many teams, such as the same for us. This dungeon here is a very linear dungeon. There isn't that many variances in terms of routing. So, what that means is, a lot of it has to do with how quickly you can chain the pulls and how well your team can min-max your damage. This beginning here, your job as a healer, there's really not much you can do to heal your tank. Tank fight, tank pull. Tank will need to manage their own cooldowns to live the bleeds from the lashers. I would say, depending on the tank, after the small lashers are dead, that's when your healing on them will be a bit more impact. Me here, I just try to do some damage, try to speed up some of the lasher kills. The play that our group uses is that we rotate, for the last couple of bleeds, we rotate Blessing and Sacrifice from the Paladin, and we Spirit Link for the other set of bleeds. Here you can see he's about to get that back.
Thank you. I'm kind of kite this way.
Very straightforward. It's not much you can do as a healer. Your tank just needs to figure it out. Alright, this boss, it's quite an easy boss, depending how your team plays it. For most high keys, the DPS will not touch the ad that is summoned. One here. Right, so what that means is that you will have to heal the bleed much longer time, sometimes even going into next damage event. This is totally normal. You know, don't be upset at your DPS if they're not hitting the ad that comes out. You want to make sure you do as much damage to the boss as possible. That said, there you can see the ad did die to the natural cleave. Will be some sets where it does not. This one probably. You heal it as a Resto Shaman, you really just put down your totems, chain heal, tides. That's it. You don't need anything special.
Does Rally and Link?
This sentry here, on the surface level, it's a very simple fight. Dodge tornadoes, damage. On a higher key level, you want to min-max this boss a lot. And what we do to min-max it is we rotate our cooldowns and our group utilities so that our DPS can stay in for the pretty much entirety of the fight. Of trying to go behind a pillar. So for the first one there you saw, we use Spirit Link for the 15% DR. And we use Rally. I believe our Pharaoh Druid got Blessing and Sacrifice. The second one, we have a bubble, and I believe our Pharaoh uses Survival Instinct. Warrior lives every single one. Problem. You can see here, I'm not really doing much healing. I don't think I'm doing any healing at all, other than dropping a totem every now and then. So I try to play for maximum damage. These birds, really nothing to talk about. As long as the Alpha Ego Screech does not one-shot your team, which I don't think will on any key level, maybe at 24. There's really no other damage coming out. So you don't need to be in a hurry to top up your teammate. Press chain lightning, press do damage. And then you have the last set of Eagles, which is the 2 Alpha Eagles. Quickly, what I do is I try to stack up 2 stacks of Stream, drop them both down for the first set of Screeches. And then for the second set of Screeches, I use Spirit Link. You might be wondering, why are you using such a big cooldown for such a small ability? You won't need Spirit Link for the rest of the fight until the very last couple of Screeches of Croth. So in between now and when you get to that part, it's more than 3 minutes. So that's, you don't have to. How I play it. Right. So these silences, it's very straightforward how you play it for each phase. For the first phase, all you have is just the screech damage. And what you want to prep for it is you want to make sure you have your Riptides out. And whatever Stormstream totems you have, you want to save it up. You want to make sure you have your Whirling Earth node. You can see I'm not proccing this yet. I'm going to wait until the damage goes out. And you probably want to use Unleash Life as well too. That's how you heal it. You want to keep your Whirling Earth. You want to waste it. You want to keep it for each screech. If you press it early enough, you will have it for each one. So my method for healing this is the very first one. The very first screech of the fight is just my Stormstream for my Nature Swiftness and Chain Heals. The second one is my Healing Tide totem. This is the third one coming up, and the third one I call for defense. This is the first set of the wind phase. This is pretty much the same rule. You can see here I have my Whirling Earth note. I'm not going to use it yet. I'm going to wait till this damage comes out. Then I send it. It's very important. This will probably make your life much easier if you save up these Whirling Earth Living procs.
I just take a little bit more damage, but I don't do that much more damage.
You can see a lot of the healing is just done through Chain Heal and having your Unleashed Weapon and your whatever Stormstream procs you can get. Very important that you keep your Riptide on cooldown. Even if all your party members have Riptide, it's very important that you keep pressing it to get that Stormstream totem.
I have to hit the boss to reset my CDs. Hope y'all understand.
I'm in the same boat as him, as you.
Alright, so going into the burn here. In the burn, you want to have all your cooldowns. You want to have Healing Tide totem available. You want to have your Astral Shift available. And you want to make sure you have your Spell Link available. How I play it is for the very first silence, Screech, we use Healing Tide. Here we have Earth-Elim on everyone. You can definitely use Spirit Walkers as well during this phase. Makes your life much easier to heal. Second phase here, we are using defensives. And then on the third phase, we are using Spirit Link. We end up not getting a third Screech, but if you do get one, it would be Spirit Link there. Okay, these pulls here. This pull is a very standard high key pull where you have the 2 Mana Fiends, a bunch of Foragers, and the Rabbit. The overlap here for you as a healer is these bombs that go out. There's 2 damage components to this. One is the dot that it does, and the second part is the explosion. Explosion does quite a bit of damage, so you do want to make sure people are very healthy. And the challenge with this pull is that Foragers can leap on players. It does quite a bit of damage, so the overlap comes from Foragers leaping on players with the bomb. So they could possibly get ticked out from the Forager right before the bomb explodes and they die. So don't be shy to send defensives here. There's nothing else going on in this fight. Assuming you're playing in a method where the tank is baiting the big circle from the Ravager. if your tank is not the one that's taking the charge from the Ravager, it does become a lot more complicated. But I'm assuming if you're doing a key at this level, you have a way of dealing with the Ravager. If you're a Night Elf, you can melt it. If you're a monk, you can... Basically, how the Ravager works is that whoever is the furthest away from the Ravager will get picked 100% of the time. Here we're just playing, I believe, 2 more Mana Fiends and books. A neat trick you can do as a shaman for this dungeon is you can take Tremor Totem. So these textbooks here, basically they're cast as a sleep effect, and you can put down your Tremor Totem because I believe it lasts for 13 seconds. This way you can just ignore it or let the cast go off, and that way nobody needs to commit a kick to it, and it puts the spell on cooldown. So as opposed to just CCing the books, the Tremor Totem pretty much acts as a kick. AoE kick. So these pulls are pretty much all the same. You have Mana Fiends and you have Forgers. See here I died because I didn't have a defensive for the bomb, the Mana Fiend. And I did not want to commit Link. Which I'm looking back on it now. I probably should have committed Link if it was this early. But so this boss is probably one of the more difficult ones in this dungeon. There's a lot more variance with who gets the bomb and whatnot. Basically, there's 2 phases, or there's 2 different type of bombs. There's the bomb that goes out, you take damage, and then they explode, and that's it. It's the first one here. I think I die here, but I die on the next one. And then the second type of bomb is the one that comes after, which is the same bomb, but it's followed up from an explosion from Veximus. So right here, you can see the bombs go out. Typically, our plan here is to use Heart of the Wild and Rallying Cry from the warrior. But I believe it's not enough here. Oh, I do survive this one. I must die in another one then. So the reason why we only commit Heart of the Wild and Rallying Cry is because the Arcane Fissure, which is the explosion, is a bit more delayed after the bomb ends. It's only for the first one for some reason. So you have, I think, 1 or 2 more globals to heal everyone before the explosion goes out. So in terms of how to heal this, okay, this is the one where I die. Yeah. In terms of how to heal this one, to be honest, I myself haven't figured out the best way to heal it. I typically try to use my cooldowns for the overlaps. So this is the overlap here. There's a second one. I commit Healing Tide. And for the regular bombs, the one without explosion, I always keep trying to fish for Stormstream Totems. Stormstream Totem is your best friend in this dungeon and in this boss specifically, as it gets everyone topped off right away. And see, you want to try to snipe the HP. And what I mean by snipe is that, you know, people here are going to drop low, but they'll never die from the dot damage itself. They will only die if they're low enough and then the bomb explodes. So you want to make sure you don't overheal them with their abilities, but you also want to make sure that you have enough throughput to push them up for the bomb explosion. So right here you can see I'm not pressing my Stormstream right away. I'm letting this drop to about 50%. So 57, 65, I'm at 84, and this is when I use it. And that puts everyone above the threshold. I believe, depending on the class and whatnot, you typically want to be above 60% for the explosion. Here, this should be a link.
I'll get this one. I'll get this
Yeah. So here we link this one. This is the, you see here, this is followed by the explosion.
one. Thanks. I can get this all.
The heart and defensives.
I rally.
Here, this I believe is the overlap again. And this one should be the defensive one. So remember, first set it was Heart of the Wild and Rallying Cry for the overlap. Second set was Healing Tide Totem. Third set was Spirit Link. Fourth set will be defensives again. You can definitely also send defensives with the first set if you don't have Rallying Cry or Heart of the Wild, and they should be back for the fourth set. The same rule applies here with the Whirling Earth motes. You want to make sure you hold on to it for the damage mechanic. You want to make sure you do not spam that chain heal for no reason because you're going to be using that Earth Living Weapon effect. This will be the fifth one, I believe, but we end up not getting. Okay. This quadruple Echo Knight pull is a very common pull nowadays, so I'll run you quickly how to heal it.
Sorry, Mike.
Blizzard has done a thing with the coding where you can see now all of them are supposed to cast the Arcane Smash, but Blizzard's coding prevents that from happening. And so what happens is that they will instead use it one by one, which makes it easy for you as a healer. Okay, so you can see here, same rule. Keeping my Whirling Earth elemental note here, I'm not using it. Making sure everybody through my Riptide has Ancestral Vigor. All right, this is very important because there are certain classes that do not survive this without Ancestral Vigor. And I call for defensives too. Right away, when first damage goes out, that's when I start healing.
Are you gonna let this one go off? Mike. Aki's next. I'm gonna kite this way, yeah?
So the first set of smashes, remember there's 4 smashes. Heal through it through defensives, Stormstream Totem, and just regular chain heal with Lust. The second set of smashes, I believe I use Spirit Link here and Rallying Cry. Rallying Cry is a 15% DR, so that means everybody will live it. And Rallying Cry is a additional buffer in case somebody steps out of Link for some reason or the Link falls off early. This last one here, you have Healing Tide. Oh, you have Pot. You can use Pot here to push you through. Really, the main thing is it's a DPS check for that one. You want to make sure if you have to do 2 rounds of healing 4 smashes, it gets very difficult. So you want to make sure that all your party members are focused on one Echo Knight, so that you have to heal less overlaps of these smashes. This boss is pretty straightforward. Basically, there's this what is this called? Arcane bomb mechanic that comes out, or energy bomb mechanic. The bomb itself does not do damage. It's when they explode that they do damage. And the overlap is basically the dragon will randomly shoot out arcane missiles to a random player. Can't really tell who it goes on, at least I can't tell. And the overlap is the bomb explodes or is dispelled and the missile hits that player. So what does that mean for us as a healer? That means you do not dispel the bomb, because if you look at the spell queue of the boss, the random arcane missile damage only comes out after the bomb. And what that means is if you dispel early on the bomb, that person can get ticked for the missile as well. You see right here, bomb goes up first and then missile. When you see that, you want to make sure everyone who has the bomb is topped off before the bomb explodes. Because you have time to heal them, assuming you don't dispel them. You let it naturally fall. Remember, they don't take damage with the bomb on them. So no dot damage from it, just the explosion. Once again, when the bombs go out on people, do not dispel them. Keep them topped off from any missile damage. I'm dropping here. Watch me. Move out. The bomb on us. Make sure everyone's topped off, and make sure I'm topped off too. If there's a missile coming out, bomb naturally explodes. It's a very simple fight. Don't overthink it. Don't dispel it. Push HP bars up and aim this. Alright, that's pretty much it. The end of this boss here. We do end up getting very close. I was the 2 death in this run, unfortunately. The Vexmid boss is a very difficult boss. So that came from. But yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Holy shit.
Hopefully the next video will be a 24.